It's me, Maya Shevchak, and welcome to June 2026. Oh wait, the lighting doesn't say June because I live in Northern Ireland. And why is that? I filmed this in December because I wanted this idea Sunday to feel extra special for June, which is today when you're watching the video and after it. So we're in June, but the time I filmed this surprise, it was December when I filmed this. Well, parts of it. So now in June, you're going to enjoy it. Because I have mixed some of this green glow-in-the-dark pigment into yellow glow-in-the-dark paint for the glinty minty tulip doll eyes. And now I have this empty bottle left over from it, so we're going to make a doll with a hat using it. I just realized I can show glow in the dark in December, January and February, but not June. So now I can help you enjoy it in June, unless you live in the southern hemisphere or anywhere in the southern hemisphere. Then it's going to be different for you because I live in the northern one. Enjoy. Maybe let's get it into a darker spot. There we go. Nice little green glow in the dark effect. I thought about the character that we're going to make, and we're going to make another Elsie Tulip using this doll, and we're going to make her wear the hat because this will be the version with the big hat on. The green glow-in-the-dark hat that will go with the glinty minty tulip doll eyes really well. So I'm starting with adding glue to the areas where I'm going to put it on, but wait, there's this, and I don't want that cut off hair to be visible from that, so maybe I'll just scoop it out and put some hair on her scalp before doing the hat because of this right here. I want it to look good even even if I'm going to only look at it with the bird's eye angle, because I don't want to see that I've cut off the original hair from the doll, although that would be the most visible from looking at it at a bird's eye angle. So I'm going to start by adding the hair first, and I'm going to use this ginger hair using this orangey brown piece of wool that I'm going to unravel and use it for her hair, her orangey brown hair. But it's not actually a brown, it's quite an orange color, so it's more on the orange side of brown. But it will suit Elsie Tulip really, really well, so I'm using it. So let's bring the ends a little bit, and the hair would be quite short, so I'll just trim that. And let's put it onto her head. She doesn't have very long hair, so the pieces will not be very long to be in their length, but at least long enough to keep it recognizable as Elsie Tulip. See that? That's what we're trying to replicate here. And that's what we're doing. And good thing I considered the bird's eye angle of this. If someone's going to see it in a bird's eye angle or something, because like bird's eye to this view, it is an angle that tells you that from above, right down, just like you're very low at a worm's eye angle, which is very low down, and you look very up. The angle, that's what worm's eye angle is. Well, a bird's eye angle is looking down to it. So that's what those angles are. And I think it's very Elsie Tulip, this hair color, this orangey hair color. And yet if you have some orangey brown wool, great for ginger hair. So I have another piece of ginger hair to add right here. It did take me a while to unravel and cut it to the right length, but I at least make it worth the effort. And I decided to do the hat before doing the face up, because although I should have done the face up first, I haphazardly decided to procrastinate on the face up because it was December and the release was supposed to come in on June, which was a very long time, like 6 months, to not only make the video but make others wait for that video to be available to watch. At least I can mask the hair away for painting her face later if I need to, or just paint very carefully in her face. But if you do not have such an amount of time to make such a doll, maybe you're in a rush to make the doll. Maybe not in a rush, it's just an exaggeration of what I'm trying to say. But if you only have a few days or a few hours to get it finished, do the face before doing any other part of it. I would suggest, if you're ever going to replicate it. I just wanted to throw the hair on because of this is really transparent and I just don't want it to, show the bald spot under the hat. And I just did that so that would not be visible. So that's why I put hair on the doll first. Didn't want to show any bald patches from cutting off her original hair for this, but you know the drill now. Time to let it dry. The hat. I'm not too sure about this now with the green dress and the ginger hair. Right now with the hat like this, but I could make it a little bit like a tulip design. I'm going to glue on fabric petals and see what happens if I glue some fabric petals to it. Will it look more glinty, minty tulip dollhouse worthy? Or will it look, I don't know. I could put it lightly. But let's see anyways how this looks. First, because that may have been a lot to consider. I do want it to be tulip themed. So this hair has not dried yet. So I don't want to mess the hair up. But I'm saying it looks quite decent. Like this, just have to put the hat on later, and maybe here do some tulip work, like she's wearing some hair clips or something, like tulip themed hair clips under the hat or something. Let's just add this here and maybe add something more red in this area. But what could I actually do here? This was something I could do while the head was still drying on this doll they glued on here. So maybe I'll just do maybe a yellow tulip for this spot. Will it be visible under the hat? Yes, it will. Because I will try to do something with its bird's eye view. I think the hat should look more like a tulip. But I will lose the green glow in the dark effect. But yet I can add it back in, because I'm just trying to figure things out as I'm doing it to make it work for Elsie Tulip and all. Will probably add more petals, although it means covering up the green glow in the dark. But hey, you can still see it from the hole in the hat, so it's not practically a hat. But hey, maybe it is because it's got a transparent piece on it. But hey, I can do whatever I want with this. Put more petals on it, and at least it's still on the inside. And yes, I will take after photo with this in bird's eye view for good measure, because I've been referencing it a lot in this video. So yes, I will do it. Actually, but yet I'm thinking if should I put an axolotl somewhere in there too, an axolotl themed something in it. Well, because I made an axolotl hat, Nicholas Mellow thing, I'm kind of tempted to add sneak and axolotl thing for Elsie Tulip. And if you're wondering, where is this Nicholas Mellow with the axolotl? Here he is. He's got an axolotl right there on the hat. So, I'm just trying to adjust my tulip so it actually looks like a tulip. So I will glue down this piece. This will not be the final color of the tulip, but it is getting somewhere. So that's how the tulip looks like, all opened up. The hair on the doll is still drying, so just have to give petal trims until it looks right. Trim down the petals because they're made out of fabric, and we will have to let it dry. Just have to also have something like this. The green dress wasn't working out for this, so I switched her to the pink dress. I will have to do work on it to make it look a bit more polished to my design, but it looks better with the hat. Theme and the ginger hair and everything. But the hat I will add some green and pink details. And I decided not to put an axolotl inside. Just wouldn't fit into this. It would fit, but maybe it's not fitting for this theme. So I'm just going to put a little something else. Maybe I'm just going to use that for adding some details inside the hat, because I want to do a lot of details before even inserting it on her head, and painting her face, because I still did not paint her face. Maybe let's add some, because the glinty minty tulip is very, very close to the forest, so maybe some forest theme inside the hat. Maybe a tree branch or something like that. Let's break a piece of an old paintbrush, or maybe that's not a good idea. Maybe, what could we do to make it work? Maybe let's add a red flower to it to see what happens. Or I decided to just make it tulip theme because I don't know what will eventually work. Change my mind about that. So I removed it from the interior of the hat. And I don't want to waste glue on this, so what about this piece? I think it will be perfect for the interior of the hat. But let's adjust it better. So let's just put it inside the hat. Maybe I'll just fix that with a paintbrush. Let's just adjust it with a paintbrush. That's better. And here it is from bird's eye view. Perfect. Just perfection. I have added more here because I did not like how thin it was for Elsie Tulip. So I had to add more to make it look better. But at least it's still realistic to what volume of hair she has. Then I painted on white, acrylic paint for the eyes, and now I'm using a ball pen for eyelashes, because now I'm going to give her a face up. But at least do her eyes first before deciding on her lips. So let's give her olive green eyes, because that's a characteristic of Elsie Tulip that I have decided to enforce on Elsie Tulip dolls that I make. A lot of people look like her and not an iron, but anyways, let's give her some ginger eyebrows to her face. Some of it is covered by her hair. Anyways, and I think I'm going to do some pink lips or something. Or what about red? Like the soft red lips look. Like orangey red lips, because it will suit the look that I will do. With a little more There we go. Maybe it will look better with some white teeth showing. Because it looks kind of line-like unintentionally. So maybe let's just give her some white teeth, yeah. Because it will be an open knife for her. But the sculpt has a closed knife. There. And maybe I'll just soften the red color a little. Lipstick on more of the peach side would work better. It's still very orangey red for this look. And soften it with even more paint markers. So, softening anything, so let's water it down. I just keep softening her look, so she still looks very friendly and yet fitting for her character. Like the makeup has to be fitting for the character of her. There we go. Looks nice and friendly now, and has a face done. But I'm still working on her dress. I removed the rose from it because I'll be adding tulip details. Fix the back closure, but I'm still working on this dress, and the doll needs to dry, and I'm still thinking of what to do with the hat. I will work on the hat later, but I have altered the dress. Now more of a tulip theme all over it. Some organza with fabric tulips added under it. Some leaves, the skirt scrunched up into a tulip shape, and the leaf at the back of the dress, and press studs to close the dress on the doll. And the rose detail got replaced with a tulip detail, and the dress will be sort of like this is the short part of it, while the longer parts cascade down to here. So that's what I've done to Elsie Tulip's dress. Just try to make it as tulip themed as possible, using just the dress that she originally came in the pack of the doll that I got in Asda. And I just used the dress and then altered it into this tulip shape. I mean, not shape but number. So that's what I done to Elsie Tulip's dress. The pink dress. And I'll use the green dress some other time, because I do also like the green dress, but maybe some other doll would get better use out of this dress that I've made, the green one. I was doing a macaron boat for the Idea Sunday for 18th of January 2026, and I have some leftover bright red streaks of hair that I've made out of wool. For the boat I just made them roots of the plant, but they can also work for here. So let's add a bright red pink streak into her hair, because I think it would really suit the tulip theme, as well as I may also add more colored streaks to that hair, but I'll think about it. Now I just add this bright red one and trim it accordingly to her hair pattern, and it looks like this, and it really suits her. Let's trim that a little more. That's better, because I want it trimmed to her hair pattern and her hair texture. So yeah, it's not a very pink red, but it's not a very orange red. It's a neutral red streak that I've added to the orange hair. So I will think if I'll add more streaks, but this one has to dry before I can think about another one. And I don't want to add too much, because I want it to look cohesive with the hat on, and yet this hat has so many petals that even if I tried to give her streakable hair, it would barely be visible under the hat. So maybe I'll not add more to it, but I think it looks better with just the 3 shades of red in her hair. Besides, it will not show under the hat, and especially that this is bird's eye view of what's in her head as well as the back of her hair. that sticks out of the hat as well as the front. So I just added that one because I thought it would look really nice. So let's let it dry. Then I had some dark green wool and I trimmed it and glued into her hair pattern because it will look like she's got a tulip with the green and red streaking her hair. The streaks that one is red, one is green. But I'm going to trim the green a little better because it should look good with her actual hair pattern. Even if I add a colored streak to it, it still should look hair pattern accurate. Let's see it with the hat while the glue hasn't dried. Looks like there's a tulip underneath the tulip now. I guess it could look good if I interpret this right. But it's up to you to decide. You know. But this is also starting to grow on me. But yet I still hadn't finished the hat interior, so I will leave that until I get a better idea of what should I do with it. Yet I had a lot of time for this because it was filmed. Most of this was filmed in December, but yet that's a long time to wait from December to June to watch this video, so I gave myself time to think about that. I added yellow to the hat with some green glow in the dark. The yellow glows, however the interior looks green and I want it to look good. So I'm still working on the interior of the hat, but the exterior will not look like a full bloom of tulip. I will actually do a tulip bud that's ready to bloom, but the colors hadn't matured yet. In terms that it is a very early stage of transition from bud to bloom. Not a premature bloom, but yet I had to look up the correct terminology on that to describe the tulip hat and the different stages of tulip life. So it does have to dry now, and there will be some pink red added later. But I'll keep it subtle because it's a bud stage of tulip. The hat is going to be used some green to red, sun color change pigment in it, as well as the pink to purple sun color change, so there's more pink at the bottom and more green at the top of the hat. So now I wonder how it will look whenever Northern Ireland gets more sunny for April or May. So we're going to go out in April and May and show you that. But that's what I've done to the tulip because I wanted to be realistically color changing in the sun, and plus that would work better than the glow in the dark. Although there is glow in the dark, but you have to, you know. So that's how it looks in the dark. The green does glow, but I get more time to look at the glows in the dark in the winter than in spring and summer anyways. So there's that. Let's turn the light back on. Oh good, sunny weather. So I've got the tulip hat, and let's hope it changes colors. I tested it in December on a sunny day, but yet that needs more time in the sun and stronger sun to color change. Maybe I'm supposed to do this in April or May or something, but wow, that just adds to the seasonalness of the tulip, I guess. But it was good to check it out anyways, to see how this will turn out in different seasons, and also interesting to put it and mention it in the video. So I guess it's a win for that, but we'll have to see. I have some green leaf wool. It's actually beige wool that's steady-like, but I put it in a mixture of green marker just to make it green. But anyways, I'm stuffing it inside the hat for the forest inside the hat, because of course I have to make the forest scene inside the hat, like I promised you all that. So I have to give you all that. And thanks for checking in. It's now January if you reached into this part of the video. Thanks for checking into it. And now let's get some brine. Bits of this wool got tangled into it, but I think it would be a good part to cut a piece of it to put it into the tree as a tree bark, like this. And this is how it looks with bird's eye view. Beautiful. But I think I need a bird somewhere inside. Maybe on this part or something. I think I'm going to add a flamingo. Just kidding. Flamingos don't fly. We need a flying bird. Any bird that can fly, because flamingos don't fly that much. Maybe they can fly a little, but not a lot. I was just joking around with that. Let's put a carnadol instead, using those beads, because carnadols do fly. But anyways, let's add a tail. This needs to be red because that was the wrong color. There, let's change that color. Much better. And let's glue it onto the spot in here. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. How will I make this an actual forest scene? What about a tiny little squirrel or something? Do it. A red squirrel, and not an iron tapering those grays. They used to bring gray squirrels, but gray squirrels are invasive and cause the red squirrels to almost go extinct, but some places they've been kept. And let's give the squirrel a fluffy tail. A fluffy orange tail. Using wool. And let's just put the tiniest squirrel tail ever inside the hat. Maybe it needs to be even more tiny than that. But still, maybe that's not fluffy enough, but let's do attempt number 2 at the tiniest squirrel tail known to mankind. There we go. I doubt you can see that squirrel, but maybe let's move the bird away from it. Can you see it? Hello? Now I can see it, but the camera is not doing its justice. But it's okay. I had fun doing it. And that's the most important part. But let's let it dry. Hello! Welcome to May, sunshine. Let's move this into a sunny spot to see the color change. Yep, it's starting to do something. So you can see the pink bits turn purple and the green red, and the color change seems to be more than the December sunshine one. Can you see it? That's the shadow, and that's the sunshine. But I should leave it in the sunshine for longer to have a more comprehensive effect in the sunny spot. The weather in Northern Ireland in the year 2026 have been quite weird. Sometimes sunshine, sometimes rain, and the cold weather kind of came back in very random spots. Then it was really warm after that, but then cold weather kept coming back for no reason. But the sunshine part is just the same comment every time if I live in Northern Ireland. Some parts of spring were warm, some were cold, so that's what I've been getting this year. But yet, there is more color change, but it's subtler than I thought it would be for May, but I can see it better in person. Let's just move that out. Is it changing back? Yep. The brownish red is turning back to green. And the pink is getting more pink. I don't know if you've seen the color change, but you'll just have to take my word for it. And if I got in stronger sunshine, well, I like how it adds to the seasonalness of this hat. Whatever sunshine I tend to get here in Northern Ireland with this hat. And then I thought about giving it to Elsie Tulip and fixing it on her head permanently. But I just thought, what about just making it removable? In December, I did think about permanently fixing it onto her head, but I now decided to keep it removable. Right? But I will display her with it on, although it is a removable hat. And so, Chef Jax, what do you think of Elsie Tulip in her tulip hat. Please tell me what you think of her. Yep. Why does it keep coming off? Elsie Tulip, accept that you have it on. Please. And this is you in this hat, Elsie Tulip. Please tell me what you think of it in the comments. And I think I'll go into the sunshine again for another photograph of it. Well, the clouds are back. But anyways, please tell me what you think of it. And, yeah. Bye, Chef Checks. See you in another video. Bye. And please remember that the weather here is unpredictable, because this is the finale of season 7 for Idea Sunday. And I'll let you know when season 8 will come. But anyways, bye!